Hey, family. It's your family CPA, Jasmine Young, and you're listening to the Talk Weathy To Me podcast. Get you a black CPA. We out here. Hey, it's your family CPA back with another episode of Talk Weathy To Me, and I'm excited about today's guest. Not only is she a 7-time track and field state champion, a basketball champion, state MVP, athletic and academic scholarship winner at UAB, she is also an advocate for financial literacy. Amber Jones, welcome to the show.
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice having me. Thank you so much, Jasmine.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that you were able to join us today. You got a background for days. I love it. So tell us about you. Lifekey Financial Group. You work in credit and tax services. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I am a country girl at heart. I'm from a small town called Town Creek, Alabama. Grew up, graduated with just 33 people in my class. Grew up on a farm, so I was raised around horses and cows. So moving to Birmingham, moving to Birmingham was like moving to the big city to me.
Yeah.
So Birmingham is near and dear to my heart. It's not too close to home, but it's not too far
away. Yep.
So I really like it a lot. So I came to UAB in 2009 and I played basketball. And I went on to major exercise science. I finished in the top 10 all-time scoring at UAB. As far as high school go, I'm one of the most decorated athletes in the state of Alabama. I was valedictorian of my high school class. So just pretty well-rounded. I've always had a passion for helping people. As far as my industry, I played professional basketball for 4 years. And in 2016, I had a career-ending foot injury. And at the time, I was studying to get ready to go back to medical school. But my brother was in the NFL at the time, and he went to buy our mom a car, and he had like a 500 credit score. And I'm like, how do you in the NFL and you have a low credit score and you got these like agents and people around you? So I really just took a tax and financial class to learn more to help him, and ended up raising his credit score 150 points in 6 months.
Wow.
And after that, I started helping like people around and went into business, and the rest is kind of history. So I was supposed to be in a completely different lane, but I'm a true testament of sometimes God takes things away from you to lead you to your purpose and lead you to other things. And we may not understand in the moment, but later we will. So I truly feel like God took basketball from me to lead me to my purpose. So to this day, Lifekey, we've helped over 14,000 people repair and build their credit. We help people start their business and build business credit. So long story short, that's how I got here.
Absolutely. Now, what an amazing story. And the thing I love about your story is that what happened with your brother happens so frequently, people don't even realize it. Like, you see the athletes and entertainers on TV with all this money, the cars, the houses, the clothes, the jewelry, the women, the men, and
credit and
all they got is cash. They don't have any credit. And I can speak to that as well, working with entertainers as well in the media industry. It happens more frequently than you think. So kudos to you for being the resource that your brother needed and so many other people needed. Now, with Lifekey Financial Group, do you just work with athletes and entertainers, or who do you work with? Regular individuals, 9-to-5ers?
Yeah, with most of our clientele is not athletes and entertainers, but that's my niche, and that's the reason why I started my business. So it's always going to be near and dear to my heart. So when I speak a lot of personal experience and what I've seen around me, because I can relate to that. But no, we service clients in most states. So with credit repair, we don't service clients in the state of Georgia and in the state of California. But other than that, we do, service those clients. But business credit, we service all 50 states. So yeah, we work with pretty much anyone.
So with Georgia and California, is there a reason why you don't work with people from those states?
So California has like laws to where you have to have all these bonds and licenses, and it's just so much to go through to get the credit repair legal way in California. And we don't have many customers from there, so I just didn't think it was worth it.
Right.
Credit repair is actually illegal in the state of Georgia. So unless you're a lawyer or a nonprofit, it's actually illegal.
A misdemeanor. Absolutely. So for those who have reached out to me as well, you heard it from someone who actually does more credit counseling than I do. It's actually a misdemeanor in Georgia. So if you're not a nonprofit and you're not a lawyer and you're getting credit repair for somebody in Georgia, scam. Scam likely.
I have people that's in my field that I refer them, like they still do it anyway. So
they do still do it.
Yeah, so I just don't, because I don't want to be in cuffs.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I am definitely with you.
There is small chances that it happens, but
absolutely. You just don't want to, it's not worth putting your livelihood in jeopardy.
Reputation, all of that. Like, I work too hard to build my reputation, my brand, you know, as a person. And so many people look up to me and follow me from a personal standpoint, from a face standpoint. So I just feel like I'm obligated to walk a fine line. And
absolutely.
That's just too. And a lot of people say, you know, I don't want to be a role model, etc. Like, I accepted the fact that ever since I was younger, people looked up to me, and I value that, and I try my best to be the best example for younger people, business owners coming up, everyone.
Absolutely. People don't realize, like, integrity in business is a must-have. Like, you have to have some level of integrity about yourself, you know, because a lot of times your name will precede you in rooms that you don't even enter yet or haven't even entered yet. So I can relate to the integrity piece, which is one of my CPA firm's core values. Like, you have to have integrity. And in the credit repair industry, it's been a lot of, you know, lack of integrity going on. So kudos to you for standing your ground and knowing your worth and standing on what you believe in. Now, with credit repair, what would you say that people need to know about credit that they may haven't heard before?
That they may haven't heard? That I think that it's always possible to start over and build your credit. So a lot of people think that, you know, they ruined their credit and they are in this horrible position where they don't think that they can come out on the other side, when in all actuality, you can. And it's crazy because everybody, like, I've been doing this so long, everybody that I would speak to and they say, oh, my credit is so bad, it's really not that bad. And the people that say it's not that bad, it's bad. So I always tell people to just get a view, to just look to see what's going on, you know, with the credit profile. And a lot of people, they revert to like bankruptcy and different things like that before they get their credit looked at. A lot of times you just need credit repair, because by law, if they can't prove that everything is 100% verifiable and accurate, then by law they have to remove it. So it's not saying that the debt is not yours, but we have to go ahead and prove that. And that's why with my program, you know, a lot of people are getting out of the industry because they're saying they're in competition with social media with all these hacks, which is fraud and illegal stuff.
Right.
Working in like 30 to 60 days, but I make it very clear. And I always tell people that I talk to and new business owners, you always under promise, over deliver. I feel like everything that's for me, God is going to have for me. So I always say, if you can't give yourself a year in my program, don't sign up. If someone else told you they would fix it faster, please go to them. I encourage people. So all money is not good money. And I feel like
absolutely,
that's why the company has got the reputation it has and been able to be a 5-star accredited company. And why we don't have any bad reviews, because I don't provide an expectation of, yes, we can remove it. I make it very clear. It's a possibility that nothing can get removed, because this is how it works by law. Some things may be accurate, but it is possible to build a profile. We still may have some negative. So I'm just very straightforward and clear and transparent and honest. And I feel like God has blessed me so much from just being that way. When most people, they just try to get it as fast as they can. And that's why a lot of people start credit repair and they're out of business the next year.
Absolutely. Now, you definitely are right about the people on social media and TikTok. I'm telling you, like, the amount of experts that have come out since COVID hit, everybody is a expert in the financial industry and telling you to go do this and go buy this car and all this kind of stuff. And they don't realize that the people that are telling you this, it's like sensationalized misinformation.
And people done it themselves.
Absolutely, and have not done it themselves. So let's say somebody wants to work on their credit. How do they know if a credit specialist or somebody that they're going to get their credit repaired by? How do they know if it's legit or if it's a scam?
I think the first thing you do is look at what people are saying. Now, people can do fake reviews and etc. But you know, you can always go and look and see that they have a website. Do they have a Google profile? Do they have a business phone number, business emails? Just the primary things that says that a company is professional. And another thing, ask the questions as far as how does this program work? What is the charge? So credit repair is illegal to charge up front or a big chunk. So if someone says, hey, I charge $1,000 one time, that's illegal. You can't do that in credit repair. You have to charge after the work is actually done. Ask if they have a client portal to where you can keep up with all the work and see all the letters that's being sent out as far as the communication. So those are the main questions that I always tell people to ask.
Yeah, and I think people they get so result driven that they miss all the red flags before they give these people.
Everybody's profile is different. When you see people saying, I can't, and they're promising you, I will get this done in 30 days, I will get it, that's a red flag there, because that's not how credit works.
And it's the same thing with taxes as well. I tell people all the time, like, if anybody is promising
how can you get a more, if you got a W-2 and one child, that's legally no way.
Right. Like, people be promising, I can get you a $10,000 refund, and we don't even market maximum refund over here. We market minimize liability and financial education. If you looking for a maximum refund, you can't even get on my calendar, because we don't look for stuff like that. So I think that's like the culture with this industry. People are looking for results, and they're missing the red flags along the way. And then when they've been burnt by, so many people, it makes it harder for them to trust professionals like us who are doing it the right way, who can help them get it right. And plus, everybody wants like this microwave result. Like, you messed your credit up over 17 years and you want to fix it in 30 days. Like,
exactly. That's what I said. It's not. And then when it's time to buy a house, I'm like, we've been 30 years in without a house. We can go another year. You can spend another year to work on your credit. You've been without a house all this time. So it's
right.
Like us as people, we're very similar to kids. It's like the instant gratification versus delayed gratifications.
Right.
If you put two hands in front of a child and one of them has a cupcake and the other one has a bun for $10,000, the child is always going to choose the cupcake. And we as adults are the same way about money. Like, we're going to always choose the instant gratification versus realizing the importance of delayed gratification.
I definitely agree. And I think that's like I wouldn't even say it's a generational thing. It's just a people thing. Like, we have to have stuff right now. I know I can speak for myself. I'm super impatient. Ooh, I'm still being worked on, y'all. I'm super impatient, and I want things to go like this. And when they don't, it's like, the end of the world. But with credit repair, you definitely have to be patient, because like I said, you've messed something up over 17 years. Somebody telling you they can fix it in 30 days. I mean, if you want to be scammed, there's plenty of people out here that'll do it.
But I mean, the scammers, the ways that they're doing it's been working for the most part, but this the thing, and what people don't realize, like, they can come back and get you like 7 years down the road.
Absolutely.
Like, you're getting through with it doesn't mean that the feds are not watching or the FCC is not watching.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what people don't know is there's no statute of limitations on fraud at all. They can come back and get you anytime. So as we talk about credit repair and, people being scammed, what are some myths about credit repair that we can set straight today?
Is that one, it can be done overnight.
Right. Two, it cannot be.
Two, I would say that people think that it's impossible to raise their credit score or get in the 700s when they're coming back from a bankruptcy. A myth is that bankruptcies can't be removed, and they can. Another myth is that this is one thing that really bothers me when people I see all the time, don't pay a person for credit repair. You can do it yourself. I can do this wig on my head myself, but not I can do my nails. But it's like everything in this world, you can go to court and represent yourself. You can do your own taxes. Everything in this world, you're capable of doing it yourself.
Right.
Everything. Everybody pays for convenience. So I don't understand why people make it seem like this horrible thing to pay someone to fix their credit. It's the exact same thing. It's convenience. And I never try to make my clients feel like it's something that they can't do themselves. So that's a huge myth that I hear.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you said that, because even being a CPA, like, people always say, well, you know, I can do my taxes on TurboTax myself. Yeah, you could, but you're not an accountant. You don't even know if there's other credits or deductions that you would be eligible for because you don't have the education and the knowledge. You don't know what you don't know. So you're paying somebody who does to help you discover the things that you don't know. So I'm certain that it's the same thing with credit repair. And people just
with taxes, like
yeah.
In some cases, you might get the same number as we get, and that may be it. So great job. Those people like to pay for customer service, the convenience, and all that. So it's not even a thing where every time we're gonna always get you more back or credit. It's like it may be the same. Just like I said, my crimps in my hair, it may be a hit or a miss when I try to do it like Destiny do it. So it's
absolutely. And I always tell people, like, if you aren't sure what you're doing, but you don't want to pay someone to help you, you will pay someone on the back end, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna pay more than you would have had you gone to a professional first, because now they gotta fix a mess.
Exactly. And people think that it takes more to amend taxes when you're not the client, when they haven't been your client.
Right.
To amend the taxes than to do the taxes.
Absolutely. So it's like, just get it done right the first time. Like, I don't know what it is about people, especially our people, Black people, not wanting to invest in their own financial health.
But they're in Apple, Louis, and Gucci.
Yeah, right. And sometimes even that be fake. So it's like, what will it take, you know, for our people to get serious about financial education, financial wellness? Like, I'm not sure. And just like you, that's my passion as well. So I don't know what we can do about that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, just continue their awareness, and the more you put out into the world, hopefully people start to see. And I say all the time, a lot of people are attracted to me when you are a good person and you are on this earth to help. And a lot of people are in business to just make money. So I truly believe in helping people first, and that money will follow after that. And if you help and do God's work how you're supposed to do, you're going to always be blessed on the back end. So I think that's a big thing. You know, just continue to be genuine. We just have to continue to be genuine people, continue to put the clients first, and make it our mission to help people first. And more people will be attracted to that, which in turn they'll listen to the words that's coming out of our mouth.
I definitely agree with that, and I resonate with you so much. You're a small town girl from Alabama, just like me. So we come from that, you know, genuine, hospitable, that atmosphere where we're able to connect with people, and from there be able to do business. One of my mantras I tell people all the time is people don't do business with businesses. They do business with people.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, they do businesses with people, and business isn't transactional; it's relational. Like, you have to have relationships with people, and I'm sure, especially working with credit, you have to build a relationship, a trusting relationship. I know that's what it is for us as CPAs. Like, you have to build a, you know, rapport with people to get them to trust you, because people don't really trust you when it comes to like working with their money. And then it's even harder for Black professionals to be trusted with working with money and credit. Like, have you had any issues with people not wanting to do business with you because they don't trust you because you're Black or because you're a female? Like, have you had any issues like that?
Yeah, I run into issues where, like, doing business with people, with men that have wives that may be insecure because I'm not an ugly girl, and
shout out to you.
Some people are intimidated by that. I've had situations where just women. I dealt with a lot of jealousy, like in high school. Like, people think she all this and then I remember I cried when I won homecoming queen because I was coming up. You know, in a small town. It'd be different if I was just an athlete, because you got your athletes, then you got your smart people over here, you got your pretty bougie girls over there. So it's like I won everything. So I won like all the sports awards. I won all the awards at awards day. I won all the beauty pageants. So a lot of people used to complain because they felt like their child never had a chance to win or do anything else. So that started to affect me as I got older, because that's not who I was as a person. Like, I could control the God-given abilities that God, you know, blessed me with. And so people were starting to really be jealous, to where I felt like I was like isolated, even, you know, in the basketball court and et cetera. So yeah, when I won homecoming queen, I cried. And so that was the main thing and the hardest thing for me going into business, I'm like, you know, what if people, you know, don't accept me? They judge me before they know me. So I had to really go through, you know, some therapy to get down to, hey, like if God give you a light, you have to shine it and not worry about what a few people are saying, because there's millions of people that want your help and you're worried about a small group of people. So that's one thing that I had to overcome in that standpoint when I went into business, because even before business, I never had a job. Like I went straight from basketball to business. So
you never worked for anyone?
In high school, I had a job at a couple of months at McDonald's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so I love McDonald's. I used to put on my little mustard earrings, my little ponytail. I love going into work, giving. And so when the men would come through drive-through, like the bigger the men were, the more swirls I would.
Oh Lord! So you worked at McDonald's. I actually worked at Sonic's, and I liked going to work. Oh yeah, it was fun. But this was back. This was Sonic back when the people used to skate.
On the skates.
So no, I was not on the skates because I have scoliosis and I had surgery my senior year of high school, the summer before my senior year in high school. So my daddy was not having me on those skates delivering nobody food. But we did have one car hop. That's what they used to call them, the car hops. We did have one car hop that used to skate. Her name was Brandy. She was from one of the rival schools. And I used to be so jealous of her because I was like, man, a pair of skates in the back of my trunk right now, like literally. But yeah,
I wish that I could skate, like, you know, the cute skate. All I could do is go fast, but I love when they be, you know. Girl,
you gotta come to Atlanta and go to Cascade, honey. They be skating over here.
They gotta teach me something because the girl has no rhythm on the skate.
Bless your heart. Well, I definitely can relate to you. People thinking, you know, you're all that because you were able to get this award, you were able to get this scholarship, or you're this great athlete. And it's the same way in business. People do the same thing to us, you know.
That's what I've learned. I thought when I got in business, like everybody's just
baby,
no winning or losing. Like everybody's just trying to make money. I'm like,
it's the same. It's the exact same way. So I think it makes it a little bit harder for us because not only are we fighting against the lack of knowledge, we're fighting against, you know, social media influencers who are experts in things that they have no knowledge about. Yeah. And then on top of that, we're fighting with, you know, sometimes our own people, you know, just not being supportive, you know. And I realized, like you, I had to come to a place where I realized that a lot of times people project their insecurities onto you, and the whole mentality of, well, you think you're better. No, I don't think I'm better, but you may think I'm better, and that's a you issue and not a my issue.
It's crazy because it's like when I see people, when I first got into business and I see people up here doing this, it's like I was so inspired, like, oh my God.
Right. Inspired.
So now I live like I'm either going to inspire you or intimidate you, and I'm not going to be concerned. I can't be concerned about the latter because it's going to hold me back. Because I'm so inspired by everybody that's, you know, doing, like when I called you initially, like, you know, David, see, doing so many great things, like I aspire, like, it's enough for everyone. It's enough. And we all have our own paths and blessings, and you never know what people may be struggling with, you know, individually. And I just embrace my lane and who I am, and I don't want more than what God has blessed. Like, I don't want anybody else's lane or their success or their relationships or their. I say all the time, like 95% of my friends are married, and I'm not. I'm the most happy third wheeler you'll ever see in my life. Like, I understand the path that I'm on. And I embrace where I am and I accept it. So I'm 100% happy every day, wake up, go work out, go to the gym, come home, walk my dogs, I go to sleep. Because I realize what's for them is what's for them in that season. When God gets ready to bless me in that season, he will. So I don't be tripping.
Absolutely. Definitely agree. We're talking with Amber Jones, the founder of Lifekey Financial Group. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we get back, we're going to switch lanes a little bit and talk about business credit. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Young, the founder of the Financial Literacy Institute and the curator of our signature event, the Black Wall Street Black Business Expo. Due to a large self-funded financial undertaking, I made this video to inform you that the 2023 Black Wall Street Black Business Expo block party has shifted its mission to 2024. We can't wait to be back in 2024 and better than ever with your help. We sincerely thank you for giving your yes, submitting to the mission to rebuild Black Wall Street, and providing your expertise and skill set to hundreds of community members. Like many Black entrepreneurs, access to capital doesn't come with a blueprint. From start to finish, I have self-funded this event from production to talent casting, event conceptualization, and grant funding to local Black-owned businesses for the past 2 years. As you all know and may understand, hosting events of this caliber takes time, resources, and energy to maintain and be successful. We can't wait to get the family back together in 2024, which starts with you. We hope to stay connected with you as we continue to create more opportunities for our community this year. Black Wall Street is now, forever, and always.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, listen, we're talking all things credit with Amber Jones, the founder of Lifekey Financial Group. So, Amber, I'm loving the conversation, that the transparent conversation that we're having about credit repair. And we talked about, credit repair for individuals, but let's switch lanes a little bit and talk about business credit. Now, I've learned that you are a business credit certified company. Your company is business credit certified. What does that mean to an individual who doesn't know anything about, or a business that doesn't know anything about business credit?
So basically, it's that I went through a certain curriculum to learn all the data points, everything I need to become business credit certified, to know the laws and regulations when it comes to business credit. So getting that certification was a big thing for me, and I wanted to make sure I had that because, again, I wanted to make sure I'm able to serve my clients to the best capacity as possible. And, like I always say, like, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA. My lane was completely different. So I wanted to get the things up under my belt that I needed to make sure I'm able to serve the client as much as possible versus being all talk. I wanted to make sure I could walk to
Back it up.
Yeah. So with the business credit, I just realized it was such a need for it because I'm like, okay, we're learning about personal credit, but no one really talks about business credit. And I realized that only 5% of companies report to the Business Credit Bureau. So where personal credit is regulated by consumer protection laws, business credit is not. That's why it's so hard to build business credit. So that's very intriguing, and I wanted to learn about it. And I took a lot of time and classes to learn. And
So it's definitely needed. I know we get calls at the office all the time about people, do you help with business credit? And we're like, no, we don't help with business credit. So for a business that is trying to start business credit, what does the process look like for that? Like, what are the basics that people need to know?
So I would always say you start with the foundation. People think that the foundation personal information is not as important. On the personal side, it's not as important as it is on the business side because you can be linked via the accounts, your social security number, all of these things. But on the business credit side, again, we're not regulated by consumer protection laws. Your profile is built by the information that's reported to them.
Right.
And so it's a lot harder to do. You can get duplicate profiles, and because it's not regulated, it's just so hard to fix and build. So the biggest thing is the foundation. It's like building a house, I'm saying, versus building on a solid foundation. So no matter how big and pretty a building may be, if the foundation is not good, eventually over time it's going to crack. So I tell people all the way down to the name of your business. Before I learned, about this, I had already incorporated my business. So because my business has financial in it, the other one has tax in it, properties, that's high risk. All of those are high risk industries. So with good credit, you can still get approved for things, but you should always have a general, non-specific name in your corporation documents, because McDonald's is not McDonald's on paper also. So you can, like I said, if you got a really strong personal profile like I do as far as credit, it really doesn't matter. But when you get to dealing with certain big banks and certain lines of credit, you're trying to buy buildings and certain types of lenders, they don't lend to real estate. They don't lend to trucking or gambling or whatever the case may be, firearms, things that are high risk. So a lot of times it's better to keep that name general. And then down to the address. This is a big one. People think that you could just put your personal address, a P.O. box, or they'll go to FedEx and UPS and get what's called a business virtual address. No, one of the number one reasons that small businesses get denied 4 lines of credit is because their address, when they Google it, is not a commercial address. You Google it and it's someone's house. And even though we are in 2023 and people do business, from home,
Right.
Lenders, you have to look at it through a banker's eye. So you have to not see what people are doing, but how the bank looks at it. So they're going to feel like you're not as credible because you don't have a commercial business address. So I always say get a virtual address that links to an actual commercial building.
That's a good point. I've seen a lot of people, especially in some credit groups that I've seen on Facebook, talk about, having an address and not just, a PO box or your home address. Like, you want I think people are missing the point that you want your business to look as legit as possible. So all the way down to the email address, it's nothing to go and get a domain. Like, you don't have to be keyfinancialgroup@gmail. Just go get the domain.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what's on there. Just like you want to get it all together, put our weeds on to go out, you should want to dress your business up too.
Absolutely.
To go to the bank. It's the same thing. So even in the address, a lot of people, for instance, my business address has Drive in it. People spell out Drive, DRIVE, on the Secretary of State, but everywhere else it's abbreviated DR. So I always say make sure everything is abbreviated: Drive, Avenue, Suite, STE, because you don't know, some systems automatically abbreviate certain things. So even down to the spelling of the address being Drive on one thing and abbreviated on the other, it could create the duplicate profile. So it's just very, very, very tedious and specific, but it's very, very important.
Absolutely. It's very meticulous. So for businesses that are getting business credit, of course, they want to, they call and say, I set up my LLC and I want to get some business credit. Like, they're ready to get 100K in business credit in 30 days. Tell us why that is not legitimate.
It can be legitimate. It depends. So like I said, it's another thing I see on social media, like, you can build business credit without your with having bad personal credit. Yes, you can, but you can't get cash, or you can't get cash credit cards. You can get Home Depot, Lowe's, Apple, Dell, things.
Trade lines, like store cards.
Operate our business, but to get cash money, cash credit cards, they're gonna pull your personal credit 100% of the time, unless it's a few banks and companies that do based off cash flow. So if you are cash flowing money, you can get it with bad credit, but again, the interest rate is going to be so high, you're going to pay for it 3 times. So I don't like to recommend those either, but you can get $100,000 on a brand new business in 30 days. If your personal credit score is 800, you can get it. So a lot of times, when you're pulling, asking these banks for credit cards and lines of credit, they're not even looking at your business credit. They're not pulling that. A lot of times they're just pulling your personal credit, especially the bigger banks for big credit cards. So you can, and we talk about the 3 C's. So you need one of 3 C's. The more C's you have is better. So we have credit, cash flow, and collateral. The more you have, the more you can get approved for. If you got personal and business, the more you can get approved for. So you can get approved with certain types of loans and credit with either or, but it's good to have all of them. So just got to continue to build your profile. So if you have a strong personal credit score, you could skip all those tiers. You could skip those accounts because there's so many companies that give it based off your personal credit.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned tiers, which I think is so important for us to talk about. And people that don't have good credit want to skip tiers. What are those tiers that they need to go through in order to get to the highest tier, to be able to get the big, American Express card?
Yeah, if you do have bad credit, what I recommend is don't only focus on the business credit. So while you're building up the foundation in the first tiers of your business credit, you should still be going through credit repair, doing it yourself, doing whatever you got to do to get your credit right. Because like I said, eventually, as you grow, you're gonna need your personal credit. So one of my closest friends, Stormy, she has a brand, Canvas Beauty, that really blew up.
Shout out to Stormy in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes, she's one of my best friends. And so I was working on her credit when I first started, and as she grew, we talk about this all the time, she grew without credit. So she was flipping her money, making it in the kitchen, literally flipping what she had, making it as a stylist. But when we got to the point where she was making $20 million in a year and getting there, guess what she needed? She needed merchant accounts. She had to get approved for merchant accounts that would allow her to process that much money. And guess she had to have credit.
Right.
And so the difference in good credit with the merchant fees, so bad credit people, most of the time they get denied. for the merchant, or they will have to get approved by a high risk merchant that charges all these crazy interest and fees. So that takes a lot out of your business. So a lot of times you may not need credit to start or grow the business, but to maintain as you get bigger, at some point credit is going to come into play on the personal or business side, especially when it comes to merchant accounts.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. I just think that people want to skip the steps. It's that instant gratification that we was talking about earlier. They want to get an LLC and now I want to get some business credit. And most of the time, I tell people all the time, if you are interested in business credit and you have bad spending habits and it's reflected on your personal credit, what you think you're going to do on the business credit side? It's going to be the exact same thing. So you really have to assess your psychological thoughts and behaviors as it relates to and your relationship with money to make sure that you don't go and mess your business credit up, because that's a thing too. People don't realize that though. Yeah. So one of the biggest things I've heard, and I'm so sick of hearing it, and I hear it on the tax side as well, is I've gotten an LLC and I want to buy a car in my business name. Can I do it? Come on, I know you got some good stories for us. I know you got some good stories. Let's talk about getting this car in the business name after you done set up this LLC, because the people need to know, because I'm telling you, they wear the story out on social media, I swear.
It's very good clickbait, it is. So.
It's so good, and I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of it.
So here are the pros and cons. Yes, you can. With the new LLC, it's harder. Places like Toyota will let you do it. Most people would still require you to pull your personal credit, so it would still report to the business credit. But if the business is brand new, then very rarely would they give it all in the business name. There are some companies / dealerships that do. So we can say Toyota, but Toyota is a brand, but we got Toyota of Birmingham, Toyota of Hoover, Toyotas in Atlanta. So people don't understand that different dealerships operate differently also. So what one dealer may require in their finance department, another one may not also. So it's good to go around and ask, hey, let me see the application. What do you require? Can I not put my personal on there? So it's good to call and ask those questions. So people that only do helping people get cars, they've probably tested it out a lot, but there's no way you can know exactly every single place in their process, but we do tell them how to go and look for it. If your business is especially at least 2 years old, it's easy to get it. My sister owns Designer Pups Alabama, where she sells poodles, and we just got her a brand new BMW X6, and we got all her foundation. So we was just on the tier 1. Not even that much established business credit. We just made sure her name, the address, the email. She got 2 or 3 vendor accounts just to generate a score, and no personal guarantee.
That's awesome. So
and what I tell people is, when you get in your business name, you have to have business car insurance. So that's
thank you. I tell people all the time, getting a car in your business name is
much more expensive.
It is much more expensive because you gotta have the insurance. And then I also tell people too, sometimes I really just want us to use common sense, right here, common sense, right here, common sense. If you just started your LLC and you want to get a car in your business name, and you don't have revenue to support
go ahead.
To support the expense,
it's pointless. And so if you're telling me that you just want a car to where in a couple of months you might not want to pay it and you just let it go back and it ain't gonna reflect on you, cool. But in this case, and you can speak on this from being a CPA, what are you depreciating on? You
ain't got no business, so you already operating at a loss. You gonna go get another one, and then now you got losses on your taxes, but then you trying to go buy a house and you ain't got no credit. It's just a whirlwind of issues over and over and over.
And again, this is about knowing yourself and knowing what your needs and wants are. Now, if you're in a situation where you're about to buy a house or do something that affects your debt to income, that's a big thing, because if you got if it's $1,000 car payment, that $1,000 on that debt to income on your personal side could be the difference. So you getting approved or denied for a house, or you being able to get the house you want. So in that case, then that's a great reason to try to get it in the business name, because it's not going to affect your debt to income ratio when it's time to do what you need to do as far as a house on your personal side. So again, every situation is different. It's about knowing your situation, your goals, your aspirations, your tax situation to know what's going on. So just because John on social media said do this and get 100% deduction doesn't mean that that's what you're supposed to do. It's great, maybe great advice, but it is very situational. So if you could speak on that from a tax standpoint, that would be awesome, because so many people are confused.
Yes, like, and the thing about it is, when they talk about it on social media, they only give parts of the information. Like, all of it may not be wrong, but it's like telling a half truth. It's a whole lie. Like, you gotta tell it all. So yes, you can get a car in your business name. Yes, you can get 100% depreciation in the first year that you place the vehicle in service, and it has to be over 6,000 pounds. If it meets those qualifications, then yes, you can. But don't go buy a G-Wagon just because you saw Stormy do it. Like, don't do that. That makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense at all. Listen,
you trying to buy a house and you writing off all your income.
Why would you go and get a G-Wagon if you pulling up to an apartment? Like, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
And that's why I really love what I do, because when I first started playing basketball, and I'm like, if this is happening to me, I can only imagine, because I grew up 2-parent household. My parents loved me. They did everything they could for us. Grew up, came to UAB, graduated. I'm like, how no one told me about credit? I am so confused when it comes to that. So that's why I really love what I do, because when I finished playing basketball, I'm like, I done played overseas 4 years. I done saved my money up. I deserve a brand new car off the lot. So I went and bought an $80,000 car, $1,100 car payment, paid like $15,000 down, pulling it up every day to my $2,500 a month apartment, thinking that that's the life. No one ever told me different.
Right.
That's all I seen. That's all I seen growing up. So it doesn't matter how much money you made. I eat my brother, NFL players. It doesn't matter your background. It's all, and I feel like it's like modern day slavery. Like, they don't teach us this in school. So no one.
Let me tell you. You said something right there.
In school, they put everything else in algebra, all of that. Like, y'all couldn't teach us the 5 parts of credit. Like, it's just like, I feel like it's modern day slavery. That's how they keep us.
It really is modern day slavery, and we actually posted that on our page the other day. Modern day slavery is being in debt. It's being in debt, and people don't understand how enslaved we are to consuming and this world of capitalism. Like, it really does have a hold on people. People will go out and buy Gucci, Louis, Prada bags and don't even have $2 in the bag. Like,
exactly.
It's really.
So if you're listening to this and you're in this situation, like, it's totally okay. We all, like I said, some people had parents or people around them to teach them. Most of us didn't. So it's okay, and you don't have to feel less than. Because when I started learning, I'm like, this is crazy, because I thought that I was living the American dream and doing what I was supposed to do. No one told me different. So I can only imagine how you may be feeling now. That $1,100 car payment could have had me a duplex or a rental property that could have been making me $2,000 to $3,000. So just the turn on wealth, if I had just known, if somebody had just told me. So that's why it's important to take the time to listen to podcasts like this, get around people that are working on personal development and seeing how you can do to build generational wealth. Because again, if we don't learn it, to be able to teach our kids to prevent them from making the same mistakes that we made due to the lack of knowledge, it's just going to keep trickling on down the road. And so when I'm meeting like my artists and different things, people don't even have a bank account. One of my artists told me, I know I need help, I just don't know how. Like, most of the time, if we don't have anybody to teach us, because they're not going to teach us in school, we're not going to get taught. And so that's why, like we was talking, I feel like it's my life purpose, and why we do what we do for a business. It's not just only about us, it's really about others. And when we can help others and help people. And so again, like credit repair, when people come into my program, I have people that still want to pay after the program. Can we just continue to pay to help you? Because this is what I tell them. This is not about you. You're coming to fix your credit. So they get a video before the appointment. You're coming to fix your credit, but you have to do what you have to do to be able to learn.
Right.
Because if you fix your credit, then what? You have to be able to teach your siblings, your parents, your children, because that's the only way we're going to break this cycle.
Absolutely.
We have to learn to be able to help others and spread the knowledge, because they're not going to teach it.
Listen, I'm loving the conversation we're having, Amber, about credit, and you have such a wealth of knowledge and such a passion for what you do. When we come back, we're going to get Amber's thoughts to herself, what she would have told herself 10 years ago about credit. We'll be right back. Founder and CEO of Southern Heritage Financial Group, which is a CPA firm located here in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome back. We're talking all things credit with Amber Jones, the founder of Lifekey Financial Group. And listen, if you are just now tuning in, I highly encourage you to go back and listen to the entire episode, because I'm telling you, she dropped some gems. So Amber, it's been an awesome time here on Talk Weathy To Me. And before you go, I want you to tell us what you would have told yourself 10 years ago or 20 years ago about credit, what you didn't know then that you know now.
10 years ago, I would have told myself to get started and make sure I'm responsible with the credit. So not to even use the credit cards, get them, put them up, use them one time per year just to have them. But when I did need credit, as far as a house and a car, because typically when we're that young, we don't make good financial decisions.
We're not even thinking long term.
We're not thinking long term. So I would be thinking about my future to go ahead and build, but not to actually utilize any of the credit. 20 years ago, I was 10 years old. And I do think at that point, if I was my mom, I would start to teach me, just like we learned lyrics to all the rap songs, it's 5 simple parts of credit. So I would have started to make me aware of credit and give me a fake like credit card to teach. Okay, if it's $10 on this card, how much do you not spend over for credit? So I would have just made sure I was more educated just on the basic, what are the 5 parts of credit?
Absolutely. And I think that's very important. And where the synergy lies between you and I is we're trying to educate people on what we weren't educated on, not because we had bad parents, not because we grew up in a bad neighborhood, but because we were around people who also weren't taught and didn't have the education. So my sister, keep going, keep doing what you're doing. I'm loving all of it. Before we let you go, please tell us, where can people find you? If they want to work with you, if they want to talk with you, how can they connect with Amber Jones and Lifekey Financial Group?
So Lifekey Financial, you just go to www.lifekeyfinancial.com and you'll see all of our services. The link to schedule is on there. As far as me and my personal brand, you can also find the scheduling links through my social media at Coach Amber Jones.
Absolutely. Listen, y'all know how we do it over here. I need y'all to go crash her website, lifekeyfinancial.com. Go follow her on social media. Listen, if you've ever been looking for a credit specialist that is legit and that does get results, but gets results the right way, Coach Amber Jones is the person to reach out to. Amber, thank you so much for coming to the show.
You're welcome.
We can do anything on this platform for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We love you, we appreciate you, and we support what you're doing in the financial community. Listen, you guys, that's another episode of Talk Wealthy To Me. I am your host, your family CPA, and I'm wishing you love, peace, and generational wealth.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talk Wealthy To Me. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and share.